In this video, we talk about Smart Scout. It's a software for Amazon sellers which helps to identify profitable products and also to gain valuable insights about market trends and competitor insights. If you would like to try Smart Scout for yourself, you will find the link and special offer below in the description. And this video is part of the Demo Mondays video series where we invite different Amazon software and tool creators and we ask to present their solutions just like this on the screen. Hello, Michael. It's nice to have you here. Could you please tell us what is Smart Scout and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Hello, Augustus. Excited to be here and excited to show you Smart Scout. So Smart Scout really is, it's a data suite into the Amazon ecosystem. So it can be used by sellers that just want to kind of familiarize themselves or advanced sellers that know exactly what they need to get an edge on Amazon.
And what type of Amazon sellers do you serve? Like what business models they can come with, like private label wholesalers? Also, what scale of the seller you're interested in?
Yeah. So we are a data suite. So what I mean by that is any type of seller can use the data that we provide on the Amazon Marketplace to get an edge. And whether you're just starting out and want to familiarize yourself, like if you don't know anything about Amazon, but you know the general principles of doing business, you're going to want to study your competition. You're going to want to see what others are doing. You're going to want to see the market potential and things like that. So even when you're just getting started, you can definitely make use of our data. We're a data company, like I said. So really the tools that we have are kind of like lenses that help you see the data in actionable ways.
Well, and you are covering probably a lot of Amazon Marketplace regions, right? Almost all?
So we are constantly adding more. We're definitely, covering everything the US first, but we have about a dozen marketplaces here. And of course, we're working on adding others. I will mention that some of our most advanced tools around keywords are still locked to the US only.
All right, so let's jump to the Smart Scout dashboard and let's see what we can learn about this tool.
Okay, awesome. So Augustus, I know that your audience is a little more private label focused. So I'm going to kind of show you how you can use Smart Scout from that perspective. What I think is cool, and you might, Smart Scout is a second mover in the market. Our software, our founder, Scott Needham, was one of the world's biggest wholesalers. And some of this software, some of these tools that we have, he used to really scale his wholesale business. And today these tools are available through Smart Scout. So what I mean to say is it's a different perspective of doing things. So let's first show you the subcategories tool. So think about it in the sense of how does Amazon look at its own marketplace, right? Or a brand that's just curious about the Amazon marketplace and launching onto it. These are the type of things that they would love to know, Right now what you're looking at is, as I showed before, these layers here of the categories on Amazon. This is kind of a reflection of the actual Amazon catalog and the different categories and subcategories that we have. So coming from that perspective, you could browse using Smart Scout any of these nodes. If you're interested, if you're a brand in the home and kitchen category, or you were looking to launch a private label product in that category, you could actually look at some of these subcategories at home and kitchen. You could dive in and see actually what that market looks like. You could see the estimated monthly revenue, and you could see things like the seller revenue versus, the 3P, third-party seller revenue versus the 1P or Amazon percentage revenue. That's really actionable information, because when you sell on Amazon, you don't really want to sell on Amazon. Of course, if you are a big brand, you could try to get into Vendor Central and just have them sell your products. But typically when we're talking about going into private label, we're going to come in as a third-party seller. So that is very important information to take in from a competitive standpoint. You also at a high level can look at, how many brands are selling in a particular subcategory, and you can, dive in all the way down to a particular subcategory. And you can look at this data. You can see how many brands there are. You can see how many sellers are, kind of see how competitive that landscape is. So we'll come back to this tool, but I want to start with it because as I keep jumping back and forth into this visualization here, Smart Scout, the way it's designed, it does give you that top level approach, that market view, instead of starting from the bottom up and maybe just starting looking for a particular product, like a product idea that you might have. So I just started showing you top down. Now let's go bottom up. Bottom up is typically what I've seen taught in the Amazon space. But a unique tool that we have to help that. So this one in particular should be looked at often. It's called Top New Products. So here we constantly refresh the top new products launched on Amazon. You could clearly see the launch date first. You could see the estimated monthly revenue for these newly launched products. You could see the buy box price, brand, etc. You see Apple is launching some products here. But from the private label perspective, especially when you're just getting started, you definitely want to trim these things down. So let's say you can filter for a maximum estimated monthly revenue for newly launched. These products range from, like you can see, they'll go a little bit further back to, I think, last 12 months. But you can see here January. Anyway, let's do the estimated monthly revenue. Let's do between $15,000 and $50,000 a month for new products that were launched on Amazon. We could also cap the buy box price if we wanted. But here, top down, we see kind of like what are the latest products that were launched and that are doing quite well. So something here launched in February. Let's see, we can find something to launch this month. That would be pretty ambitious, but we do see May, of course. So let's see. I'm going to try to find two examples here to kind of tell a story and basically give you perspective and insight at the actionable data analytics that Smart Scout can provide. So let's see here. Let me see if I could find something interesting to take a look at. I'd want to maybe look at two products in two separate categories. So we can see here a car backseat fan that is by a brand called Hayusi, just recently launched here just in April 15th, already doing $25,000 on Amazon. So that could be an interesting thing as a potential private label idea. So in Smart Scout, I could click on details for that particular product, and I could immediately start getting some more details about this product. I could see the seller that's selling this product. So I could just keep going kind of down that rabbit hole. But okay, so now I've discovered, okay, a brand just launched a car backseat fan, and so quickly it's doing so well. So using Smart Scout, what I could do, that interests me, from a private label perspective. And I could so I want to kind of analyze this space a little bit further. So I just opened this product up on Amazon here, and I want to find what the category this fan is to take a look at it a little bit deeper. So this happens to be a car amplifier cooling fans. So if we jump back, let's jump back into our subcategories tool for a second here, and let's check out that whole category. So it's so strange. I would have never thought that this is a fan on the backseat, but in Amazon's catalog, it is an car amplifier cooling fan. So I'm going to type in car amplifier. All right, cool. So now we found the subcategory on Amazon, cooling fans, car amplifier cooling fans. We see that the whole subcategory on Amazon fully dominated by third-party sellers. And it's almost a $2 million a month category on Amazon. We see 117 different brands. Actually, I could click on the little dashboard here and it'll show me that category as a whole. I see the products are roughly small. The average selling price is low. So I'm kind of liking this from a private label perspective because it does give me a thought that I might be able to jump into this category. But let's research a little bit deeper. Let's check out all the brands in this particular subcategory. So what was the product that we found? Let's remind ourselves. It was called the dual car seat fan by brand Hayusi. So we're in our subcategories tool. We found that subcategory, and now we're looking at all the brands in this particular subcategory. Again, we have 117 of them. The top player here is called X School, and they have 12.1% market share. So the way that I contextualize this, and let's actually find our product here, Hayusi. So Hayusi, okay, so they are in this subcategory, they are $107,000 a month brand on Amazon for this particular subcategory, and they're growing. However, their competitor, so they have 2 ASINs in this subcategory. However, their competitor has 8. This is all like really, strategic information. If I were to grow in this subcategory, to me, I just need to add more products. And then let's see about entering this market. Okay, so we have 117 brands. What if I enter this market, I would hope I can get at least 1% market share. What would that look like? All right, that looks like it'd be about $20,000 a month. So again, just key strategic information about, analyzing whether I want to try to enter a market like this on Amazon. Let's take a look at our brand, the one we were looking at earlier. I'm going down the rabbit hole, like, Smart Scout enables you to tell a story. And by telling a story, you can often make the best possible decisions because it helps you kind of put the logic together. So Hayusi we see here. So this particular brand that we saw, so we have that fan that we found is doing roughly, what did we say? It was $25,000. And the brand as a whole is doing $284,000 a month on Amazon. Let's check out, so from here within the brand, we could see all the subcategories that they're selling in. So we see that that car amplifier fans is the second best category they're selling in. They're doing a little bit better in vacuum cleaners or car or computer vacuum cleaners, and they're dabbling here a little bit in upright replacement vacuum filters or something like that. But they're growing in this cooling fans area, and we could also see all the products they have. So again, if I'm thinking about going into this space, I'd research all the top brands, and then I'd see what kind of prices I can get from manufacturers, etc., and help me make my decision whether it makes sense to enter this market. But we could see, so as we said, we saw the subcategories they're selling in here. We see the various products that they have. So their top selling product actually happens to be that vacuum cleaner. So we're deep on the brand here. Okay, now what else can we do here? Well, so I want to enter this space. Let's go back and see the brands. The top player here is XOOL. Let's look at them instead from a competitive standpoint. And let's see. Okay, so these guys sell in a bunch of other categories. Not too many, actually. We could take a look. They're doing $800,000 a month on Amazon, and they have some computer. So the car amplifier cooling fans is their second best performing category. But this is kind of cool. So again, now entering a space like this, we know today when you're launching products, like it's really difficult to launch without ads. What I can do is I could take a peek at some of their sponsored keywords that they are paying to rank on. So this basically our tool. We scan about 300 or 500,000 top search terms, and this data is directional, but it's meant to kind of give you insight into the ad spend that this brand is dropping on particular search terms. So let's filter this out for fans. Let's do contains. So for fans, we see we identify them launching ads for about 84 terms. What I find nice about this is this is the top selling brand for those car fan products. They're doing, okay, so we see $1,300 here for this this top keyword, a little bit more long tail, 600. These numbers here to me, I mean, I could export this and put it in Excel and add it all up. But I like to see this because this actually is manageable. If we go to another category, then we might have time to analyze here, like something in the supplement space. You'll see numbers here like $90,000 a month. If I don't have that that kind of budget to jump into the category, it's not going to be worth playing. But these numbers help, and I think this could be manageable. Let me now. So Smart Scout again. It enables you really to see the ecosystem and move through the layers. I'm going to take a quick step back here, and I'm going to just go back to this market again. I'm going to show you an enterprise tool we have called Scope. So Scope enables us to see historical data up to 24 months. I'm just looking at this particular subcategory. We're looking here on a weekly level. Let's maybe look at it on a monthly level. And so we can see there's a dip here in the last 12 months. Let's look at 24 months. Is this category growing? Oscillating, but overall, if I were to put a trend line through this, I would definitely say that this is moving up and to the right. And then here's where it gets interesting around the brand share. So let's see. So 2 years ago, it looks like our company, the Hyoscine, didn't even exist. As far as, well, maybe they existed, but we're highlighting the top companies with brand share here. So that 2 years ago, they didn't have any brand share. They emerged. Let's see when they emerged according to our data here. We of course could get more granular. We could do things like we could just basically hide everyone and look at just the brand that we found that just launched a product that within 2 months is doing 25K. And we see April 1st, 2023. Actually, we'd have to probably go a little bit deeper here on the brand itself under scope. So we see they started, if we look at 24 months on the brand itself, we could see they started 2022. They weren't doing too much. We could also see, okay, so they really, so, okay, now we see here. So they only started getting into this, this car fan business last year, end of March. So roughly a year ago, and they're definitely growing in it. So they've been able to identify a cool niche. And okay, so jumping back into the actual category itself, so we could see the major players, we could see the changes in market share. Again, so this helps us paint a picture of, can we enter this market or can we grow within it? If I were to get in this, let's say I launched in here and I were at 1% market share, I could use Smart Scout to see all the different brands in this subcategory above me, and I could look at what differentiates them apart from me. Is it the different, do they have more ASINs? Are their listings optimized more? Because again, I could dive into any one of these, and I could look at their products directly, and I could analyze, I could keep getting more granular. I could see, okay, product page score, which is kind of like an internal score that looks at all listing aspects, including title, images, description. We can see these guys are fairly optimized. The score goes up to 10. Let's see, is this arranged by revenue? I believe so. So again, I could get really, really granular with the data in terms of competitive analysis. I will show you one more enterprise tool, which is kind of fun. This one is called Share of Voice. So for this one, we analyze just page one, sponsored and organic traffic listing, basically impressions that we get. So you can put in a keyword. I think we had, the keyword there was car fan, I believe. Was it car fan? I think so. So for car fan, so we're going to be able to see now the share of voice for this particular search term on page one. We're going to see what brands are showing up and what percentage are they showing up organically versus paid. So we see the top brand in terms of overall share of voice. So that's a combination of shared and organic, the 12%. These guys are doing 8.2% organic, and they are doing 17% paid. So they are paying to play a lot, but they also have a good amount of organic visibility, which is good. Let's see, is our brand here? We are not even here. So we are not showing up as much on the first page. That's interesting. I guess when people look for something like this, they're willing to click through to additional pages. Okay, I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do this whole process again, but this time I'm just going to choose a different product and tell a different story. Because again, from the private label perspective, we are trying to find private label opportunities based on existing demand and competition. And of course, using this particular tool, I'm just looking at what's been launched as of late and is interesting. So I'm going to do the same filters again, 15,000 a month to 50,000 a month. And I'm going to try to find something in the supplement space. Of course, again, Smart Scout's all about filtering. So I could just even start filtering here for beauty and personal care. Let's see. So let's see what we come up with here. Still loading. Let me scroll over. It's arranged by revenue. So like I said, I wanted to analyze something in the supplement space. That's always an interesting space for me because I find it so competitive. I'm always interested in what brands and sellers are launching in the space. So let's check this out. We found this prenatal vitamin here that's just been launched in March and already almost at $50,000 a month. So from here, we can go in again. We can look at the product details. So we will again look at the subcategory and do more research on the brand itself. But first, I don't want to forget to show you that you can look at what search terms this product is showing up for in the search term report right here. And so you can see basically we've got 1,152 different search terms that this particular product is showing up for. We're currently arranging by rank. Of course, when you're launching products, you want to rank for top position on various keywords and also purchase intent. So you can see all that here under Rank Maker. And now let's jump back and look and check out this category as a whole. So following the same token, so let's go into the actual product page on Amazon. It's just prenatal vitamins. So let's check out and explore that space a little bit. So I'm going to go back into the subcategories tool, and now I'm going to just search prenatal vitamins. And we see, okay, so that's nestled under health and household, as we know, and it is a $17,800,000 a month category on Amazon. And it is, there are a bunch of 1P brands here, but it is still dominated by third party. We see 197 brands, average number 100 sellers, and you also get insight into the total. Of course, when you're launching a product, you're going to have to gather your, your ratings and your reviews. That's definitely something else to keep a close eye on. Okay, let's take a closer look at this particular subcategory, and let's look at brands. What I want to see. Okay, so now we see about almost 200 brands. Top level brand is Smarty Pants at almost 20% market share. Wow, had a huge jump, 3.3 million in estimated monthly revenue. So that product we found, so this is, the brand is, what's the brand? It's called Mary Ruth Organics. So let's take a look if we can find Mary Ruth anywhere here. Okay, so check this out. So Mary Ruth has, they have 1% market share in the prenatal vitamins category on Amazon. So from here under Mary Ruth, I can get in and I can check out, okay, well, what other categories are they selling? Okay, so it looks like they're selling in various supplement categories. Well, this is actually an enormous seller, about $20,000 a month on Amazon. However, this isn't a supplement space, so you will see numbers like this. But now I want to kind of use this to show you a cool Smart Scout feature around keywords. So I showed you in the other example how we can look at search terms and we can see what keywords Mary Ruth is buying ads for. So clearly they have a high level of spend. I'm identifying 2,700 keywords. Top level, they're protecting their branded keyword quite well here, 30K a month just for that. And let's see what I wanted to show you. There's a cool tool that we have, which is called Keyword Detective. So imagine ourselves as Mary Ruth. We saw that we have 1% market share in the prenatal space. What this Keyword Detective tool is going to do, it's going to pull, and I can actually change. So basically, I'm going to analyze the various brands. It's going to pull the top brands who are my competitors on the organic and paid side and overlay these cool Venn diagrams. And I'm going to be able to identify, okay, so these are all the keywords or search terms rather that that my products are showing up for organically. And here they're showing up for paid. And then I can see my big competitors or the top players, Garden of Life and Carlisle. So what am I missing? Well, Garden of Life and Carlisle on the organic side have all these keywords that are showing up for organically. So I could take a closer look at that, and I could see I could see basically the mesh of those keywords. I could see the keywords that are identified as unique. And so that's 18,000 search terms. I could filter these down. I can export this and filter this down for the search terms just associated with prenatal vitamins and see what I'm missing. And I could do that not only on the organic side, but I could also do it on the paid side the same way. Not only that, but I could choose the brands that I want to be competing with. So I could basically do that for a number of my top competitors and make sure I have the top search terms, optimize my listings, and of course, influence my paid strategy. So basically, let's see what else I can show. Actually, let's take a look at this prenatal category as a whole in terms of historical data. Again, this is enterprise level view. So the prenatal category is growing. We're looking at 24 months here, definitely up and to the right. And let's take a look at the amount of brands. Okay, so that's interesting. So we have a lot of brands entering the market and ASIN. So we have a lot of brands. Like 2 years ago, we only had roughly 120 brands. Today, we're at 150. So some brands entering, and ASINs like roughly 300 to 400. So brands in the space are adding new products and new brands are entering the space. And so if I have the funds for it, this is definitely a space that would be interesting to potentially explore entering. And of course, you could look at top products over time. You could see how that looks. So you could actually see the intersect of that. You could see there was this product here. What is that? One a day, Pink Stork. And you could see which products actually, you'd have to take a closer look. I don't think on the demo would be that visible, but you can certainly see those lines that are going up and down. And you could see like this guy that just launched here, this top one here that we're looking at, the Ritual Prenatals. 2 years ago, they weren't even on the map. So interesting stuff on that end. If you wanted to, just jumping around here, I know we're coming up on time. I just really wanted to kind of show you the story that you can tell using Smart Scout from a private label entry perspective. You could also look at just the trends on Amazon. This tool, Popping Topics, allows you to look at trends by categories. Father's Day is coming up, so they see a huge trend there. You could use a keyword. You could just, again, go by direct category. We filter out the media categories because those get really crazy with like movies and popular books. You can include them though if you wanted. And if you click on one, it'll show you the top ranking products. It'll show you related search terms, and you can find interesting trends. You could go long term. You could see, okay, well, clearly Father's Day is coming up, then it goes flat for the whole year, and then it's going to start coming back, presumably next April, May of 2025, just like it is now. We obviously have other tools, and there's other use cases that I could go into, but I think for the purpose of this demo, I just honestly want to pique the interest of your audience to looking at the Amazon ecosystem in a different way, sort of the way that Amazon will look at it, right? When Amazon's looking at their ecosystem, they're not typing in a bunch of search terms and looking at what comes up. They're kind of holistically looking at what are the categories that we have in our catalog, where are the dollars flowing, what's growing, what's shrinking, where are the opportunities. And I think that is the future of selling on Amazon, because it is really becoming such a brand dominated marketplace. So to end this demo, I just wanted to show, so we do have, so as we were telling this story, we were injecting ourselves into the ecosystem, the Amazon ecosystem, but we do have some other tools that are a little bit standalone. We do have an AI listing architect, which you could build listings with very quickly based on, we'll just basically pull in competing products, and in seconds you can pull a beautiful listing in terms of copy that will take you at least 90% of the way there. You can polish it up and things like that. I did want to demo our traffic graph tool, which I think is super cool, because what it does is it basically, we've reverse engineered the frequently bought together section. Oh, and I didn't even talk about our Chrome extension because it is more arbitrage and wholesale focused. It just appears on product pages like so. But so we've reverse engineered frequently bought together, and we've done it in a really cool, visually appealing way. So you can start with an ASIN or a keyword, and we'll basically paint the map for you. Okay, what? For you see all these purple arrows pointing towards this keto chocolate here. What that means is if I were to go on any of these product pages that these purple arrows are pointing from, it would say frequently bought together and display this, frequently bought together and display this. And then the gold arrow is showing if I went on this listing, frequently bought together, it would display this. This is like a little shortcut in terms of ads and also helpful in bundling, because knowing that all this traffic is coming in from these guys to this guy organically, like frequently bought together is organic. I could basically pull all these ASINs and throw them in a sponsored targeting campaign and use that to just not, like, you could get that through research, through launching campaigns. I could just throw in hundreds of my competitors, but this way I know like this is actually what we're seeing in the marketplace. So it's like a shortcut. So I really like that tool. Again, you can start with a keyword or an ASIN. The other use case is more like exploratory. If you are thinking of accessories to products, like sometimes you'll find really, I don't see it here and I'm not going to search for it right now, but I remember searching like some stuff around supplements, and I saw like this scale kept popping up, and it was, so it made it clear that people that are searching for these things are also searching for scales to weigh themselves, which makes sense.
This tool is really visually very nice, very easy to understand, and these lines really help to find the connection between the products. All right, so talking about Smart Scout's future, you have already a lot of features and tools. Do you plan to release something else for your users in the nearest future?
Yeah, so we just launched, I showed you a glimpse of it, our Chrome extension, which is extremely clean. It's visually appealing in the sense that it's very clean. It just appears on product pages for now. We do plan on building that out more. And we're always optimizing. If I've showed you a lot of scope in terms of the enterprise level data, that we're always optimizing based on, we work with a lot of enterprise clients, and we take direction from them, and we kind of develop our tool based on some of those insights that they give us into what is the most actual data, and those things are changing, the things that they need to see. So one thing I didn't go into is brand reports. For any brand that we look at, you could generate a quick, like I could just look at a brand and generate a PDF report, basically showing the key information about that brand.
Yeah, sounds very useful. Can you go over through the pricing of Smart Scout so that viewers understand?
Yes, absolutely. So one big change that we just made is that now there is no free trial of Smart Scout. It is there's the SMB pricing, which you see here on a yearly and monthly basis. So you've got your basic package starting at $49 a month, up to $187 a month on the monthly level. On the annual level, you save a little bit of money. But basically, if you go to our pricing page, you'll see the breakdown. Most of what I showed you would be all the way through the business plan, and I did show some enterprise level features, but you just got to look at what you need.
All right, and the Orange Click viewers get 25% discount on the first 3 months, right?
Exactly. So using the code below, I believe it's Orange Click 25, you get 25% 3 months of Smart Scout.
Yes, you will find the code and the link below in the description. I think that's it. Yeah, thank you very much, Michael. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. This is my pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this demo of Smart Scout, and if you would like to try it for yourself, you'll find the link below in the description. Also, a discount code for 25% off in the first 3 months, besides the free 7 days trial. So this is in addition at the beginning when you sign up. If you have additional questions about this tool, don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. We will ask Smart Scout's team to answer them. And if you enjoy the content we create, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And now I would like to invite you to watch more videos. It's a collection of different Amazon tool demos. It's the whole playlist of Demo Mondays video series. So check this out.